In this video I will paint an artwork for a group show in Paris. The main topic of this show is climate change, and it turned out so much harder than expected. Holy moly. How do I start this thing? I've written so much. Never in my whole life I've prepared a video so well and still felt so bad trying to make it, because this topic is like, this topic is toxic. So yeah, I will just introduce myself first. My name is Smoe, I'm a German graffiti artist, and probably this is already where the problem starts, because I'm invited to a group show in Paris, to the Graffiti festival at the Good Planet Foundation, to create more awareness around climate change and global warming. And at the beginning I immediately said yes, okay, cool, great. First of all, I will be in Paris. Sounds super cool. I'm such an international artist. Second of all, I recorded the whole video, not this part, but the painting part, in March. It is really rainy at these days in Germany. And third of all, I thought like, okay, yeah, global warming. Probably this is, I mean, I got a quote-unquote big reach, and yeah, it will probably make sense to talk with you about this topic. So at the first place, I was pretty happy about a new canvas project that I can do at home while it is raining outside.
Bloop. Hello friends and followers, and welcome back to a new project. A canvas project again! Yeah!
This is why I started this video pretty happy.
So, I want to learn from my mistakes in the past, because the last canvas that I painted, it was wobbling that much during the time lapses that I don't want to paint on my beloved roof battens. I want to paint on a solid piece of wooden board, like this one, for example. Perfect. I will take something like this, and I got an idea. I can use the material that I will use for the packaging at the end anyways for painting. Perfect. So clever.
And also for the fabric, I thought
Okay.
I will use some old stuff. Well, I knew that I did not store this piece of fabric in the right way, but as a poor artist, I learned over the years to keep everything, because every material will find its use one time. Well, it's already painted, it's black. Let's see what we can do with this one. But don't be afraid, it won't be a black canvas at the end. I'm thinking about a pretty warm painting with warm and bright colors that represent the global warming.
Okay.
I thought I want to paint it only with old and reused materials. I want to recycle a little bit, but basically this is what I do all the time, because when you got not that much money, when you're not rich, it is just common sense to take a little bit more care about the resources that you have, because you need to have enough money at the end of the month to fill the fridge for the kids. But let's go upstairs and start painting.
With an underpainting in some of the leftover paints. I got some of this color still left over from the last painting. Okay, let's put a second coat on there. It was not covering that well. By the way, this was the glass. There was garlic in it. And now the whole painting is smelling a little bit like garlic. Another half of an hour later, our canvas is extremely dry. Very, very good. So I applied the first yellow layer in the sky because I want to have a real warm sky that transports this warm atmosphere but still is happy and hopeful. It would be so nice if this would cover on the first layer, but I think we will have to make 1 or 2 or 3 layers.
But after starting to paint, I got such a pain in my stomach because the most problem that I have is that I was afraid of these aggressive climate change activists who will tell me that I am not in a position to tell anything about this topic because I am part of the problem, or I am the problem because I have kids. Thumbs down for having kids. Because I sometimes drive a car that has a regular fuel engine. Thumbs down for that. Yeah, and you probably have seen me eating meat in one of my older videos. So, and of course I use spray paint. Yeah, so basically I am not in a position to say anything about climate change. Because everything that I do is bad and I'm not allowed to talk about this topic. But I decided that I don't want to make a crazy dramatic video where the world is burning and so on, because I want to focus on the hopeful part of this discussion. I know that this is not very popular. And probably I will get a terrible shitstorm in the comments, but those who know me, I'm a positive dude, always practical and optimistic. So this video will probably be a little bit different because I will talk a little bit more than usual in my videos. And while I was doing my research about our climate situation, I was fascinated how fast the internet tried to lead me to the wildest theories, from dark spots on our sun, geoengineering with chemtrails, up to the invention of the personal carbon footprint by British petrol and many, many, many more. And I really do not understand why not all these theories at the same time can be true. I can already see how my comment section will turn into a battlefield, but I think keeping our planet in a good condition and a good place for everyone is probably what we all want. And I can understand those who reject it and say that it is hard to decide which projects are just greenwashing and which are really making a positive change. And everything is getting more expensive. But I can also understand those who see the news every day and think that the world will collapse soon. And as this video will also be seen by people who are really directly affected by storm, heat, flood or other side effects of the climate change, that make it so much easier to make a point in this super weird internet discussion. So I want to make one thing clear. Do we as human beings have an influence on the current weather situation? Of course we have an influence. It can't be that you throw a stone into water and say nothing happens. If we put concrete everywhere, turn forests into fields, if we burn dinosaurs, which became oil, and put so much steam and fire in the air and heat our houses and fly and drive everywhere, of course, this has an influence on nature and the climate, and especially when we put poison on all of our fields to protect them against insects. Yes, this has an influence on our nature and also on the climate. And I know that also all natural processes like dark spots on the sun also have an influence. True. But I think it doesn't matter why glaciers are shrinking or if the predictions of the future are really as bad as the news tell us. First and foremost, when we love our planet and want an even better, greener and cleaner planet in the future, it would be nice if we all work together instead of pointing with fingers at each other and say what we as a single person do wrong. Let's focus on the tiny improvements and support each other to maybe let a jungle grow on your property. Do we need a reason at all to protect nature and support projects that help saving or creating spaces for wild nature? Don't we all feel better if we have forests and clean air all around us? I think this is the one and only topic where all human beings could easily agree with.
This looks already so nice. This looks so nice. Now let's do this part in the middle.
We do not need more debates around the climate change. If it is true, who is responsible, who we can blame, if the scientists are all lying or whatever. We all have the same goal. We all want fresh air, clean water and space for all creatures on this planet. So let's work together. Let us focus on supporting each other and lifting each other up to do what we can. If you have money left over, check out where you can help to support projects that are affordable for you and talk with your business friends about sustainability. And if you have time left over, see what you can do in your community with your friends. Every meat-free day is healthy. Every single piece of trash that goes to the recycling makes a change. And every square meter of chaotic and raw nature counts. This is not a competition, this is a big team project with the same goal for everyone. A good, positive and nice goal. And even if you just feel good doing positive stuff that makes you happy, that turned out to be completely useless at the end, you did not lose anything, because you have been happy all the time.
As the last step, I use a transparent clear coat that is in this milky color when it's still wet. I mix it always 50-50 with water. And now let's put some clear coat on it.
So that the color is protected and even shines a little bit more.
Yo! But before I show you the final result, let me bring the artwork to this old stretcher that I found in my storage, because I think buying a new one would be somehow weird in this context. So I will stretch this one around the stretcher. I will stretch it around the stretcher and then I will show you the final result.
So I removed the staples so that I can get the fabric off the painting board that I will use later for the packaging. And I even used nails to fix the fabric on the stretcher. I think this even looks a little bit nicer, and these nails were laying in my workshop for so long. And I always wanted to use nails on the backside.
Now we got a problem. Can you see this? There is a crack. There is a crack. I don't know. I'm some sort of disappointed. And I think the problem is that the edges of the stretcher are too sharp and it was bending the fabric too much that it cracked. Okay, it's all sealed now with some clear coat, but the cracks are still visible. I think yeah, it's all interpretation, but they are part of the whole story. Like, you know, recycling. Sometimes when you recycle stuff, they don't look as good as if everything was new.
but they have more character. But then at the end, maybe these tiny cracks, nobody cares about them. I don't know. So, and I know that you want to see it. This is the final result. And now I want to say some words about this canvas. The surrealistic arrangement says "Act Now" and combines everything I love in one painting. Between the leaf-shaped extensions of the letters, you can find one tiny half-timbered house that represents us humans living in the now. Inspired by the architecture of the historical buildings in my hometown. But the now is melting like an ice block and running over the floor. It got thin cracks and is covered with black clouds from the backside. And in the middle, you can find a graffiti with the word "act" on one of my mountains that I love to paint so much. This is my interpretation of the current situation. Act now and show the world that you care, no matter when, why, or if the climate heats up, that we all have the same interest. Let's stop distracting each other and show that we love our planet. Oh man, and I want to thank my patrons who support me to make projects like this happen, and I'm happy that I made it until here. I know that some prints of this artwork have already been sold on the Graffiti Festival, but if you want to get one, please check out the pinned comment or the video description. 50% of the prints sales go to the Graffiti Festival. And if you want to buy the original artwork that also still is available, 50% will go to the foundation Good Planet. Yo, and of course I will make a YouTube video about my travel to Paris. I will travel there with the train. And yeah, I think it will be pretty exciting. We will see. And thanks a lot for watching. I hope you were a little bit entertained. Don't forget to like the subscribe button. And I hope to see you in the next project.